Hey guys, this is Tamir. I'm your chess teacher. And today, right now, we're going to do a makeup session for the lesson on Friday. So sorry about Friday. I lost track of time and I was unable to attend the lesson. So this will be a makeup session. We won't make it that long, but we will include everything that was supposed to be taught on Friday. And that includes openings. So I had two openings for you guys. One as white, one as black, and also in between those, we'll be putting in a few tactics. So it's gonna be a nice balanced out lesson. And honestly, let's jump right into it. Let's go. Okay, so sharing screen. There you go. All right, guys. So before we get started here, let's just give you guys a few little warm up exercises to go. This is a good one, guys. So give this one a try. It's white to move, white to win. I'll give you guys 30 seconds here. Just take your time. Yeah, guys. So honestly, just pause the video and really try to solve it if this makes that easy, if that makes it easier. And in the meantime, I'll explain you guys the position, what's going on here. As you can see here, it's a pretty so it's a middle game position, but a lot of attacks going on. We can see there's a lot of activity. You know, there's contact here. It's the first thing we see. So do we take the queen right away? Or is there a better move? So personally, I like having multiple options before dwelling into a move. So instead of just seeing one move and picking it right away, hey, pick a few candidate moves. 2 to 3 is a good amount. And then from there, with each one, go deeper. So we see, yes, we can take the queen, but what really is standing out right now is that this king is very exposed. Notice how, so look at our king. It's safe, it's got pawns in front of it, and there's really no danger nearby. But this king, the pawns, you know, they're not very stable. One pawn is missing. There's a whole open file. We got a knight that's very close to this king. Got a queen, which could attack this king in many ways. And then noticing that perhaps he came up with this move. Queen h7. No, sorry, queen a3, check. The king goes to either here. And then queen a7, checkmate. So there's the puzzle one. And remember, guys, we start off by, if you see an exposed king, then that's where your mind should be at. And then we see a few candidate moves. You know, we don't just see that the queen is free and take it right away. Yeah, we say, okay, one candidate move we could do. No, there's a potential check here. Maybe this could be our second candidate move. And we see queen coming here, attack. And the yellow one, we saw an immediate checkmate with it, so we play it. So that's the tactical scenario. Let's give you guys one more. All right, guys, let's try this one. A white to move, find white's winning combination. Pause the video, try your best to solve this. So pause. All right, guys, so now that you've tried the puzzle, either you got it or either you didn't get it, we'll see you now. So I'll show you the solution and how you can go about solving this one or finding the best move here. Again, same thing here. Like we want to look at the position here and we see, again, there's contact with the rook and the queen. It looks like our queen is being chased away. So what kind of move should we be thinking of here? Of course, most of you guys are probably thinking just move the queen somewhere. And then also what we see here is another very exposed king, you know. There's a pawn missing here and it looks pretty exposed. So if we're going to move the queen, this looks like a good move to see. Queen h6 check, perhaps something after. Another candidate move could be possibly our rook can come and check here. And apart from that, we don't see too much here. We could take the rook. So again, we got a few candidate moves here. Now looking at them closely, taking the rook doesn't make sense because it's defended by the queen. So we can cross that one off. The rook going to c8, the bishop is defending it. So we can't really play that. So let's cross that one off. Now, the last one, queen h6, like this one. So king is going to go on g8. And then what? Wait, king is on g8 now. I think this knight can come and check it. That looks like checkmate. A little mate in two there. But you saw the procedure. We pick a few candidate moves. That's important. It's important not to just pick a random move. You're not even sure if it's right or wrong, but you just take it anyways because you didn't even look at any other moves. Instead, multiple options. Option 1, 2, then 3. Option 3 could be like not a good option 3. But candidate moves, guys, it really increases the chances of you finding good or close to the best moves. All right, guys, so now we're going to go over an opening. We're going to go over the Italian opening. Now, actually, so before the Italian, there's one little common line that I wanted to show you guys. And this one, you guys are intermediate, so I expect you guys to at least have seen this and know how to defend it. But in case any one of you guys have not seen this before, it is important to know. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. This is probably what you guys normally play. Now in the third move, this with the Italian opening, I usually go bishop c4 first. Now, of course, there's many moves you can play instead, but we're gonna look at this variation today, bishop c4. Now, your opponents will normally play one of two moves. They'll play bishop c5 or knight f6. So they'll develop one of these guys. They might even go d6 to develop the bishop, but they'll play something along those lines. Now, if the knight goes on f6, and this is only if the knight moves, then now, guys, this is not the Italian opening. This is the fried liver attack. I just want to show you guys this to make sure that you know what it is and how to defend against it, because a lot of players at your level will try to use this. Now, the fried liver attack, you only use it when the knight goes to f6, and that is our knight goes on g5. Notice we can't, if the bishop moves, we can't do this because then the knight is hanging. So that's why we only do it when the knight goes on f6. Now the queen cannot capture. And do you guys see what's going on here? That f7 pawn that usually we deliver scholar's mate on, now we're going for this attack on f7. And guys, this is a good one to watch out for. And if your opponent has never seen this before, they'll probably play something like pawn h6, move the queen away. Either way, they'll end up in a bad position and instant material win. So this could be a fork. Or if they move the queen, still just take the pawn, attack the rook. And this is a very good position for white. Now, of course, there's a way to defend this. And that's why I showed this to you guys, because I want to make sure that you know how to defend this. So guys, if your opponents go knight g5 to do the fried liver attack. So for now, guys, same thing. Pause the video for 30 seconds. Try to find a good defense for black. We know what white's trying to do. White is trying to capture this pawn with the knight and fork us. So try to see if there's any way we can defend that attack. So pause the video. Okay, guys, so welcome back. Now, you should have a move in mind, or at least a guess that you think might be right, and I'll be showing you guys what is the correct answer. Now, if you look at this here, it's hard to defend this pawn directly. None of our pieces can really defend this pawn right now. Maybe the queen can defend the pawn, but as we saw, it's not a good option because they take anyways. We're still in a bad position. Or they can take with the bishop. Now our king can no longer castle. But there's a better move. Notice that this attack is caused by this knight and this bishop. So guys, if we mess with one of these pieces, then we can stop the attack. So if one of these pieces is no longer attacking f7, then the whole attack is gone. So it's hard to really do anything with the knight, because the knight, no matter what move we play, they'll still be attacking f7. But the bishop needs this diagonal. So guys, I'll make it yellow. See this yellow diagonal? The bishop needs this yellow diagonal to stay attacking f7. So that's why the best way to defend this is to block that yellow diagonal. Do you guys see what's happening here? The yellow diagonal is now blocked, so the bishop no longer has an attack on f7. Now, if they take with the bishop, we take out the bishop, and now we're in a really good position. If this bishop is gone, we are happy, because this bishop is causing all the attack. If they take with the pawn, then this is also important, guys. You want to play, remember what I said, this is the diagonal. If this bishop stays on this diagonal, it's still attacking. So what do? So we play knight a5. So our knight attacks this bishop, and if the bishop tries to stay on this diagonal, we just take it. And this is a really good exchange, and now black is in a better position. And the only way the bishop can kind of so what I mean is, like, the only way white can keep this bishop is to move it out of this diagonal. So bishop e2, and now we're happy. Now we just play along, takes the knight, develop another piece. If they check us, then we can just block the check. We can go develop the bishop and block, and also block it as the pawn. So guys, many options here, but remember, let's recap this. This is an important one because it's a common one, and I know your opponents will try this on you. So guys, remember, we go fried liver attack is when they'll go bishop c4, go knight f6, and then the knight goes on g5, trying to do this attack. Remember, guys, to defend this, you interfere with that diagonal by putting the pawn in between. Now that yellow diagonal is gone. So they take us the pawn, we attack the bishop, chase it out of the diagonal. They take us the bishop, we take out the bishop. So guys, we just take out the strong bishop and the whole attack is gone. So guys, I just wanted to go over that before going over the Italian. Now, take a few deep breaths, and we're going to go into the Italian now. As you saw with the fried liver attack, it's a very tactical opening from the get-go. Now, I'm going to show you guys a more stable opening. This is what I play as white, or what I played for a while. It's very easy to remember too, and also I'll show you guys the basic idea of it. And like if you learn this opening well, it's very easy to make it at least past like move 10, move 15 against any player of any level. So it's a very stable opening. So guys, the Italian goes e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, just like the fried liver. And depending on what they play, knight f6 or bishop c5, you just go d3. Just d3. Now, guys, before going in deeper with the opening, I just want to show you guys the structure you want to go for as a white. So the ideal structure you want to go for as white is, so these two pawns go here, c3 and d3. That's important. So usually go d3 first to defend the pawn, d3. So let me draw it first and then I'll play it. So d3, c3, you castle early, and then this knight goes on d2, and then you aim to create this structure, this pawn crab-like structure. So let me show you that structure. So guys, see this red color? Imagine it's a crab, red like a crab. So this pawn is on d3, this pawn is on c3, this pawn usually goes on b4. So see, this kind of looks like a crab. So this is the structure you eventually go for. And of course, in between those moves, you want to castle. This knight goes on d2. So now let's play it along. So it goes, pawn goes on d3. So guys, just remember that crab structure. This crab. And this is a really easy opening to learn. That's why I like it too. And then you castle. This is important. This knight, because there's a pawn on c3, it goes on d2. We don't want to go a3 because then the bishop can take and double up our pawns. So we want to go knight d2. And I know this is blocking the bishop. So this is what we do. So we eventually go for that crab structure. And this structure, guys, it gains us so much space on the queen side and in the center. Sometimes you can go a3 as well, depending on what they play, or a4 I meant. And then, guys, this is the important part. Notice how this bishop still has to develop, but this knight's in the way. So we re-maneuver this knight. We actually move this knight to f1. But notice we can't move to f1 now. So first we move the rook to e1. The rook defends the center. And then the knight goes on f1. The knight can come on e3. It can also go on g3, depending on the position. And it's just very solid. And then the bishop can go here. Bishop can go here. And guys, after that, your main plan is to really just push d4 when the time is right. So guys, this is the structure you want to go for. And remember, guys, if this feels like hard to remember, just remember that crab, this crab structure. And then this knight just re-maneuvers. Starts on d2 and then re-maneuvers. All right, guys, so let's see that whole position in real time now. So guys, remember, we're going for that crab structure eventually. So we go d3, they'll develop the bishop, and then we go c3. Almost developing that crab structure. And then after that, we can just castle, because we want to castle early. And let's say black is developing, doing the same thing. Now, yeah, guys, so here we can just basically go knight d2, rook e1, knight maneuvers, the pawns go here, and we got the position. Now, this is also what you can do. Now, if they play d6 and their bishop is out here, if you notice a bishop here, because guys, notice this, because sometimes your opponent will have a bishop on c5, but it's blocked off. Notice how little of space this bishop has. This bishop cannot go here, or here, or here, because all our pawns are blocking those squares. So this dark square bishop is a very weak bishop right now. So what you can also do here is, before playing the crab structure right away, you can try setting up a trap by playing a4. So a4, the idea is, if they don't do anything about this bishop, they just, develop their other bishop, then we go b4, a5, and we completely trap this bishop. So b4, now we got the crab structure, and now the bishop is trapped. So guys, sneaky little trick here. If you notice that your opponent's bishop gets stuck, this only if they play d6, then you can go a4 first. This is important, because when you play b4 and then a4, they're more likely to see it coming and just block it. But if you go a4 first, it's a little more sneaky. a4, so let's say they don't see it now, then you go b4, a5. All right, guys. So let's play this along. If we see that the bishop is stuck like this, then a4. Now, if they're not a good player, they will miss your trick and they'll fall for your trap. Now, if they are a good player, they'll play something like a6. And then you can just do the same thing. Just b4, get that crab structure. And then remember, guys, pause the video. What do we do next? So I give it like 15 seconds of thought and then come back in 15, unpause the video in 15 seconds. All right, guys, so remember, we want to develop our pieces here. So normally the knight develops earlier, but yeah, knight d2 is the move. Knight goes on d2, and then afterwards, depending on what they do, we do want to re-maneuver this knight. So what do we do next is we move the rook over so that the knight can go on f1. Let's say they go, their rook moves. Then our knight goes on f1. Now our bishop has space, and the knight re-maneuvers. So guys, this is the opening. It's a very good opening. You can go here, or you can also go g4 or g3. It really depends on the position and the game. Well, yeah, so this is the Italian, a very solid opening. And when the time is right, so we just develop the bishop afterwards here. And then when the time is right, we push in the center when the time is right. And as you notice here, white has a lot of space on the queen side. White's king side is safe. So guys, Italian is a very solid opening. Remember, guys, so one last recap of the Italian. So bishop c4, no matter what they play, or if they go bishop c5 first, you just go d3, starting that crab structure, c3. Then castle. Now, if they play d3 or d6 ever, you notice the bishop is trapped. You could try playing that a4 trick. Remember, we're trying to trap the bishop, and if they see the trick, we just get that crab structure, and the knight goes on d2, and then the knight re-maneuvers to f1 out, the bishop develops, and you just have a lot of space. It's a very nice, slow, and solid opening. So guys, that's the Italian. Let's do, now I'll give you guys like a puzzle to kind of give you guys a refresher. And then after that puzzle, we're gonna go over the Sicilian, but not as much in detail. So let's go into, all right, guys, let's try this one here. White to move, find white's best move, best of luck. I'll give you guys, all right, yeah, pause the video, come back in 30 seconds or until you find a good move. And then on pause to check if it's right. So pause now. All right, guys, so now that you are unpaused and that you have found a potential move, I'll explain the position here. As you can see, Black's got some heavy attacks going, looks like. Potential checkmate here. But if we look at our attack, same thing. Like this king does look safe-ish, but not really, because notice our rook is on that H file. And only this pawn is blocking. But this pawn is under attack by one rook and one queen. So two attacking, one pawn. We can just take the pawn right away because the knight is also very close to the king. So guys, here, what's important to note is the king is really not in a safe position. It's exposed because we got a knight very close to the king. We got a rook, a queen very close to the king. So when you have like two or more pieces very close to the king, then that's when you should be looking for moves like this. So think of that as your cue. Let's do one more, guys. Let's see. This one's sneaky, kind of sneaky. But yeah, guys, so try this one. White to move, find white's best move, best of luck. I'll give you guys 30 seconds on this one. So pause the video now. All right, guys. So now that you tried it and that you paused the video, again, what do we notice here is this king is exposed. Why? Well, it's missing a pawn. So one of its defender pawns is gone. And also so 1, 2, 3. 3 of our pieces are very close to the king. So now that should be our cue that we might be able to do something to this king. Now in terms of moves, what I notice here is just this H file. If this H file was open, if this bishop was gone, then the queen can just checkmate on H7. But it's hard to move the bishop now. So our candidate moves can be something like, we want to move this bishop so we can take the rook. We can also move the bishop here on G7. And apart from that, what else can we do? I don't see much other than that. So those are the two main candidate moves that I see. And then if we look at this, if we take the rook, let's see what is black going to do. Well, black looks like they can just take our knight, and we don't have much after. So take the rook, they just take our knight. Now we don't really have any checkmate anything. But if we play bishop G7, now we got a new checkmate set up. One checkmate here and one checkmate here, kind of like a double attack with a checkmate. So if they focus on our bishop, we checkmate on H7. If they focus on our knight, then we checkmate on H8. So guys, move was bishop G7, leading to a checkmate in 2. All right, guys, Sicilian defense. This opening has the highest win rate for black out of all black openings. So if you struggle winning as black, this is a good one. But I will tell you guys this, guys, with the Sicilian, be patient because it takes a while to master. Like the Italian was easy to learn, but Sicilian might be a little difficult to learn. But once you learn it, it's very worthwhile. So guys, and with any of the openings that I showed today, make sure that you guys try playing at least 3 to 5 games with it so that you can see if it suits your style or not. And it doesn't matter if you guys are winning or losing that much. What matters is, do you find it easier to play with it? Do you enjoy the opening more? And then you can make that your opening. So guys, Sicilian defense, E4. Instead of going E5, go C5. And depending on what they play. So Sicilian defense, I like to play the dragon variation. And I'll show you how you do that. So for starters, let's go knight C6. Let's bring this to the board editor. So guys, with the Italian, I showed you guys the setup we go for. I'll do the same thing with the Sicilian. The setup you want to go for is, so with the Sicilian, you want to play D6. So you go D6, knight F6. So basically, guys, the 2 knights, they develop on F6 and C6. That's pretty easy to remember. That's where they usually go anyways. And that's because they're attacking the center. And this is the important part, guys. So pawn goes on D6, and this bishop goes on G7. This is the only thing you have to remember. This is called the fianchetto. So what you do is you play G6 first, creating a little hat. And then the bishop goes right in between here. Now, guys, this is good for 2 reasons. Number one, because we know in general, black is getting attacked more in the opening just because white gets the first move. So when you place the bishop here, and then we castle after, notice how our king is extra safe now. It's got all these pawns, it's got a knight, and it's got this bishop now defending. So guys, this bishop is a very strong defender. Now it's very hard for white to attack our castle king because we got 2 pieces already defending it. So it's going to take white a lot of time to attack us. And now this is the magic part of the opening. This is why this opening has such a good reputation, is this bishop is not only here for attack, for defense, I mean. This bishop is here for an attack. So in the Sicilian, so this bishop usually goes G4, e6 or d7, depending on the position what white plays. So this bishop d7 is a good spot. And then what you do is you, as black, you go a6, b5, rooks are usually on c8, queen, sometimes here. And guys, you just go for this queen side push. And then the beautiful thing is this bishop actually helps us attack the queen side. So guys, in the Sicilian defense, your king side is very safe. And you're pushing on the queen side. So you're taking space on the queen side, and you start taking the pawns here, and it becomes very difficult for white to maintain. And if white's really defending the queen side hard, and also try switching to the king side. So Sicilian is just a very solid opening. Remember, guys, the knights go on f6, c6. This bishop, you create a hat, put it here, castle, and you push the pawns on the queen side. So let's go over this one in real time. Let's say they go knight c6, or sometimes they go d4. If they go d4, guys, take the pawn, and then just do the same setup. So knight c6, f6, pawn goes on d6, because this pawn, you want to prevent this pawn from trying to push on e5. So you can do that, and then guys, bishop goes on g7. So let's say the castle, g7. They can go like here, castle, and then can develop the other bishop, a6, b5, rook c8. So I'll show you guys like one example. So we can go rook c8, especially if the c file opens, and then you eventually go for this queen side attack. You push the pawns here, and guys, it's so solid. Remember, knights go on c6, f6, bishop goes on g7. You go for this queen side push. And let's go over, let's say if they don't play d4 at the start. If they just play knight c6, you do the same thing. You can just go, so knights on f6 and c6. Pawn goes on d6. And then bishop goes on g7, creating that hat. Castles. And then from here, we can start our queenside push. a6, bishop g7, b5. And that's it, guys. So that's the Sicilian defense. And guys, I want to leave you off with one more thing. I want to leave you guys off. So we learned 2 new openings today. So I'm going to get my whiteboard out. This is very important, guys. So first off, I just want to say those openings, guys, try playing a few games with it and see if it's more fun for you. If you think you're better at that opening, and if it doesn't suit your style, then you can just leave it. Find another opening. And if it does, or if you want to get better at the opening, then I'm going to show you guys 3 best ways to master an opening. So guys, here are 3 ways to master an opening. Let's say for instance, if you guys tried playing like 5 games with the Italian and you say, I love the Italian, this is my opening, I want to play it for a while, I want to get even better at it, then here are 3 ways you can get really good at that opening. First way is opening book. Now guys, this is a very classic, very good way. You basically just buy a chess book on that opening. And normally 1 chess book covers everything you need to know about the opening. In terms of where to find this chess book, you can buy it online from Amazon. There's a chess library, I think Calgary, which you can rent one for free, I believe. You can even just find it online, free online ebooks. There's a lot of online ebooks. So chess opening books, guys, is a great way. For example, if you want to learn the Italian, you search book on the Italian, basics of the Italian, enter, and you can buy a book on there. What you can also do, this one is one of my favorites, and this is your guys' advantage these days. Because of technology, you can YouTube or just watch video lessons on that opening. Guys, like the Italian, there's probably like a good 10-minute video lesson from a master on it on YouTube for free. There's a lot of good YouTube channels. You guys do your surfing, see which ones you like the best. But guys, YouTube and videos are a great way to learn opening. The trick here is to guys like watch one video, play a few games, then watch it again. So the one video, like one 5 to 10 minute video, and then play a few games with that opening. Then you watch that same video again. So you just watch one video twice. And guys, this will make sure that you remember all the details and that the opening will be stuck to you. So guys, like, and you can also use the same procedure for a book. Read a little bit of that book, play a few games, read some again. But guys, videos is one of my favorite ones. So I'll put it, can I highlight this? Okay, so this is a great one, guys. Now let's put one more. Yeah, I'll make this a different color. Let's make it blue. The whole thing's blue now. Okay, so guys, last but not least, this is one that I personally use to learn all my openings so far. And this is Opening Explorer. Guys, this is such a good way. And basically how you do Opening Explorer is, I'll show you guys right now, but they have it on Lichess. It's free. And all you do is you basically just watch how the masters play your opening. So guys, Opening Explorer, the good thing is you basically can just pick and choose games from masters, from grandmasters who are playing your opening. And then you can see how they played, and that'll give you so much more insight. So you can, I'll show you guys exactly how I do this right now. So guys, remember the 3 ways you can read a book, videos, amazing fun way videos, and you get to explore YouTube chess channels. And Opening Explorer. So Opening Explorer, guys, let me show you. Opening Explorer, here you go. So guys, you all have Lichess, so you all have this tool. You go on Tools, Opening Explorer, that easy. Now, what you see is this screen. And what this is a whole library of only master games from the past. And then what you can do here, any opening you choose, you can just play it. For example, when we go with the Italian, we remember the first few moves of the Italian, so we can try playing it along. E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6. Notice the top 3 show the most commonly played moves here. And we see bishop C4, bishop C5, and now as you can see, C3 and D3 are very common here. So that means they're probably good moves. If you scroll all the way down, something like bishop F1 is not that common, which shows that it's probably not a good move. So yeah, we can just play D3, C3, and then you don't have to play the whole opening. After a few moves, to the point where you're kind of stuck at, where you don't know the opening that well, then you can start looking at, start scrolling down, as you can see here. When you scroll down, you get to see the full games, like Magnus Carlsen, the current world champion. You can see his game where he played the same opening. You can click on the game, and then as you can see, Magnus Carlsen playing that opening. So guys, this is how you can use Opening Explorer. Same thing with Opening Explorer. You play a few games, and you can basically see how you compare, see where you went off trail with your opening. But yeah, guys, so that's all I got for you guys today. Guys, this is a very important lesson, especially on opening. I feel like this is honestly the only thing you need to really learn any opening well. I taught you guys 2 openings today, and most importantly, that last part of how to master that opening, guys. Pick your method. You can try, remember, first one was books. You can try a chess book. You can try videos. And the third one, Opening Explorer. You can even switch off between those 2. But remember, guys, most important thing is with any opening you want to learn, you got to play a few games with it. And you'll probably lose at the start a bit, But if you enjoy it, if it suits your style, you can keep playing it. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time today. And if you need to, you can watch this video again. You can even watch the last part, But anyways, guys take care. I'll see you next class. Bye.